28th, and do I have a surprise for you? This is really, really exciting. And the reason that I asked Gwen to be a part of Sharon's Hall of Records is because she's going to talk about something that I really don't know anything about. And this is really exciting for me too. I am going to introduce her properly first, because she's quite amazing. So we're here to discover the grounding, protecting, and healing power of activating your 13 core chakras. This is an evening of connection with me and Gwen and all of you that are here with us. We're so excited. And also, Gwen Lepard is the founder of Joy-Centered Life. So as a luminary, Gwen shines the way to empower entrepreneurs to evolve beyond limitations. So having triumphed over narcissistic abuse, she elevates empathetic entrepreneurs to overcome their relationship baggage, optimize self-love, and own their personal power. So she has co-authored 6 books, including the award-winning international bestseller, Navigating the Clickety-Clack, Volume 2, with Joe Vitale and Marie Diamond from the hit movie, The Secret. She has appeared on Telesummit's podcast and was recently signed to streaming binge network TV with her channel, The Self-Love Experience. So Gwen is a speaker, a mentor, and a baggage be gone facilitator. She has a tool shed of healing modalities, including energy medicine, decrees, hypnotherapy, NLP, quantum jumping, and much more. Wow. When she's not helping release relationship residue, removing energetic shackles, and clearing emotional baggage, you can find her dancing in the park or creating healthy plant-based whole foods and treats. So as a luminary, let's see, where am I? Okay.
That's all.
Is that all?
That's enough. That's enough.
I know. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's congratulations. that's
I've been on the planet for a while. Busy.
Yeah, but I don't think as long as I have. But we're not counting. You know,
we're not counting.
The better the better it gets, the better it gets.
I like that. The better
and
it gets, the better it gets.
And we don't get older. We just get wiser.
Ah, yes, we're in our wisdom years.
Yes, we are. So Gwen, yay! We're really happy that you're here.
I'm so happy to be here, Sharon.
And talking about this most amazing subject, which is 5D, which is what we're into right now. And that's what I think is so timely, and so happy that you could make it on with us. And those of you, I'll say this ahead in case I forget, but those of you that are here live are going to get a special gift from Gwen, but maybe I'll have you tell them that at the end, okay?
Sure. So
I want to begin by asking, what led you to this work that you do?
Such a great question. Originally, what led me to it was 2009, July 31st, 2009. After years of verbally whipping me, my former husband did it for real. And it was after he had thrown coffee on me, and he yelled at me that he was going to keep coming down on me harder and harder until I stopped doing stupid things. And the stupid thing that I did was put in laundry. So I had no idea what the next stupid thing was going to be. So that's the day that I fled my Montana home, and truly was the day that I began my journey back to myself, because I'd become so subsumed in that relationship with a narcissist that I didn't even know at the time that my family called me Bobwin. He's since passed, so I can say his name now. But that was the day, July 31st, 2009, and I really have never looked back. And so clearing relationship residue is, near and dear to my heart. I mean, so many of us have emotional and relationship baggage, and it is the foundation of everything. If we don't have a relationship with ourselves, which, like the TV channel, the self-love experience, was like really
Hmm.
like the beginning of me diving into my self-love experience, and it's been 4 years. It's evolving, and part of that is the 13 chakras. The planet evolved or expanded into the fifth dimension, which is what 5D means. And the chakras that had been hidden, because we talk about the seven. In fact, when we first met, and you talk about the seven chakras, I was like, but there's 13.
I know. And then she thought I wouldn't like her if she told me.
I
And
know.
I'm like, oh, we're constantly learning and
And evolving.
developing and growing.
Mhm.
So yeah, I love you, sweetheart. Anyway, I'm so excited to have you.
Well,
So
and I was kind of in the cognitive dissonance, because everywhere I looked, there was, the artwork and the beautiful jewelry and all of the 7D things. And so I actually commissioned music for the 13 chakras, and together they create this torus around us. And so there's actually 14 tracks. And I I'm going, my next piece on the 13 chakras is creating embodiments for each of them. So I'm going to be doing live classes here in San Diego in September to see what the embodiments look like in other people's bodies. So it's not just my body, but finding the patterns, so that there's embodiments for the 13 chakras. And then the next piece will be artwork and jewelry and all of that fun stuff.
absolutely, absolutely. So I love that I know now that there's the 13 core chakras. 13 is the day I was born,
Oh,
and it's
cool.
my lucky number. And so I'm like, yay. I'm glad they got added on. And then I'll have to, somehow weave it in a little bit into, what I do with the chakras. But I'll tell you, when I had a similar, not same story that you have, but I'll tell you what, when we go through the toughest times, it just can be so life-giving and expansive, because we'll never go back. And that's the beauty of it. And we've all had hard times. And this earth isn't for sissies. So
Oh, that's so true.
I know. So so you found out about the 13 chakras
From somebody called Marcus Bird, and I love Marcus. He's amazing. And this was back in 2017, and he was just starting to open up and share about his journey of healing, and downloading all of this incredible information that some of it was even beyond what is possible here on the planet right now. So I'm really looking forward to continuing my journey with him for many years. And the 13 chakras that he shared with me were the Egyptian 13 chakras. And they're still all from, the base of the torso up. And I'm like, 13 chakras. I'm like, oh, there's something about these 13 chakras. I was just so drawn to it. And he explains it like an octave on the piano. So it's 12 plus 1. So starting the 13th is starting the second octave. And he described it that the basically on the keyboard, they took out all the black keys. So, it can be, a lot of different ideas. Well, the black are, the bad, or and but it was to disempower women was part of how he explained it.
Oh,
Yeah, because there are 13 months, there are 13 moon cycles. Women bleed 13 times a year, and there are actually 13 astrological signs, and I'm actually that 13th one. And when I first heard it, I'm like, no, again, cognitive dissonance. No, I'm a Sagittarius. I'm really a Sagittarius. That's a totally different topic, and I'm not even. It's not part of my expertise as of yet. It might never be, but the the 13 chakras that I was drawn to were about a year later, and I found them in the book, The Water Code from Rainey Marie Hiley. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the 13 chakras I was looking for. And when I reached out to her, I said, can I teach this? And she's like, absolutely. I'm super excited you want to do this. I'm like, oh my gosh. And when I started getting the cognitive dissonance, I reached out to her and she said, because I was afraid, that it was that it was making the 17 chakras wrong. And it's not, they're still there. They're still very valid. And they were very, very helpful in 3D. But now that we've expanded into the fifth dimension, the 5D, these other ones are opening up. And so she said they're, the 7 were great for 3D, but now that we're in 5D, we need all 13 of our chakras. And I got so excited, and I realized that because 4 of these chakras, which are the ones that are between our legs, they're in 5D. There are 5D chakras because they're not based in the physical body, which is 3D, and that's where all of the other ones were based. So, and I know you hear about star chakras and earth chakras. That's not part of the system. These are the actual core ones for the body. And did you have another question for me? Because I can just keep going.
well, can you talk about them and what they are? That's kind of what I would love to know, and how we can maybe work with them or something.
Absolutely. So the title of our talk is Discovering the Grounding, Protecting, and Healing Power of Activating Your 13 Core Chakras. And that actually brings us to the first, the fourth, and the ninth chakras. But first, I'll explain about all of them. So your first chakra is your boundary chakra, and it is just below your feet. The second chakra is your base chakra, and it's between your ankles. The third chakra is the altar chakra, which is between your knees. The grounding cord chakra. Did you know there is a grounding cord chakra? It's like grounding on steroids. You didn't know.
No, I just remember saying, when I couldn't ground because I broke my neck because I wasn't in my body, I couldn't ground. And I always made the joke because no one could explain how to ground. And I thought, and they would tell me the same thing over again, drop a grounding cord into the earth, drop a grounding cord. Well, it never worked for me. And then I gave up, and I said, well, I guess I'm just grounding cord deficient.
Oh my gosh.
So
Well,
now,
it was hidden, but now you have it. I'm
now I
gifting it
have
to you.
it. Yay.
And so those 4 chakras actually take the load off of what was the root chakra, which we call, in this system, we call the manifestation chakra. That's its job, is to manifest. And it's been like a single mom doing the work of 5 chakras, trying to root, trying to be the grounding cord, your altar where you respect our off-world connections, the base chakra, our connection and the well-being of the planet. So people that are really into the well-being of the planet are actually, that chakra is well developed. They just didn't have access to it before. And then the protection, that boundary chakra, is so important to our protection and knowing what is ours and what is others, which is super important for empaths who I predominantly work with.
Totally.
So those are the lower 4. And then we get into the ones that you're familiar with: the root chakra, which we call the manifestation chakra, the sacral chakra, which we call the creation chakra, because that's where all the creation happens.
Right.
And having having manifestation chakra freed out, the root chakra freed up, allows it to feed that creation chakra back and forth so that you can easily manifest your creations. And then
Yes.
up to the solar plexus, which we're familiar with, that's where we receive a lot of information. Then we move to the heart chakra, which is actually between our breasts. It's not up here. It's um, right over the lower part, above the zygomatic arch and in the sternum. And
Mhm.
it's actually pink, not green. And then we move up to the
Right.
thymus or the breath chakra, which if you tap your thymus, if you're familiar with tapping your thymus, this actually stimulates your immune system. This
Mhm.
is the part of, this is the chakra that helps heal your body. It stimulates your immune system. So you can supercharge your healing power by activating this chakra. And then we have the throat chakra, which we call the sound chakra. I love the harmony chakra. It's all the way around, and this harmonizes our hormones. Oh my gosh. How many people have, especially women, have their hormones spinning out of control, and even men. I mean, men have hormones as well. And having imbalances in our hormones, having that chakra activated, and it also harmonizes our symphony of existence. So all of these things allow us to be more connected with the world outside of us as well as our world inside. And of course, we have our all-seeing eye, our third eye, and our crown. So that's the 13 chakras of the core vitality system, I call it.
Wow. Wow. I have a great 7 chakra guide that if anybody wants to download that from my website, it's just
Mhm.
SharonKaren.com. And that'll just give you the regular basic ones. But I always like to look at them along with the archangel realms because it explains it so well. So if you
Yes.
don't have a good chakra guide, I highly recommend. It's free on my website. So just SharonKaren.com and free chakra, you just click on it and you can download it. But yes,
Fabulous.
all of this information, and now more than ever because so many people are suffering. And
Absolutely.
I know, Gwen, like you and and we're doing what we do because we want to empower people so that suffering isn't required.
Exactly.
And we want everybody to know, like you're the luminous light being, powerful beyond measure. And everybody is, only sometimes we forget. And so,
Exactly.
Gwen, what you're doing is not only all of that good stuff, but on steroids.
Right.
Yeah. Is there anything else that particularly that I didn't ask that you might want to share that you think is
Well, I'd like to
should be
talk a little
enough?
bit more about the grounding, the protecting, and the healing. I mean, we talked about the healing power of the thymus or the breath chakra,
Mhm.
because that you can actually imagine the chakra as a butterfly. So its body is the thymus, and then the lungs are the wings. So when you're imagining that, you can see the balance that it has,
Mhm.
and how it opens up your immune system, connects you with nature. And so being able to have that healing power and activating that, the reason why the heart chakra was green, they combined these two together. And it
Ah,
was real important for it to be green because the healing was needed in the world. But the pink, the love chakra, I
right.
mean, that's getting them separated so that you have the healing power and the love power um, identified separately. It gives you more access to both of them. And then we were talking about the grounding chakra a little bit, and the grounding cord, it connects you not just to the planet but also to the center of the universe. So you're I see it, and it's copper in color. So the lower chakras are actually um, the grounding cord's copper. The altar between your knees is gold. The base chakra is bronze, and then your boundary chakra is silver. And we'll get to the boundary chakra in just a moment. But the the copper is like, and copper is conductive, and it uses our spine. This uses our spine as a conductor to connect us into the center of the universe and the center of the planet. So we have this coil of energy. So we become a battery that's constantly being recharged between the planet and the universe. And that is definitely grounding on steroids.
I love that. I love that. You know what? That was the hardest thing for me. And, you know, we master those things that were the hardest for us.
Right. I know, because you are such a grounded person now. I mean, I love how grounded and calm you can be. And you know, it's like nobody knocks you off center. You have an answer for it all.
Well, and that just came over a lot of years.
Right. Yeah, I hear
And
you.
I'm grateful too, because I know I wasn't the only one. I think people just didn't know, or they didn't know how to do it, or people couldn't explain. And that's why it's so great, Gwen, to know you and to share, you know, have you share all the things that we don't know yet. And we're just taking baby steps that we're learning these things, and how supported we are.
And I
We're
feel that, oh, sorry, go ahead.
we're you know we're always connected and always supported, but like I said, we forget, and now we have more tools than ever. So go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to go, and I forget where exactly where I was going, but I was going to the grounding, not the grounding cord, but the first chakra, which is our boundary, because boundaries are so difficult for so many people, and especially empaths. We don't know what's ours, what's somebody else's, and so this chakra allows us to know that. When we activate it, we access it, we activate it, and then get it aligned, and it the way that I created the system that one at least one of our guests today tonight was part of, and actually for it's today and morning, was part of the 3-year process that I taught the 13 chakras. I see them as spheres, so sacred spheres, and expand those out so that they all interlock, and then they all create this torus that's around us. It's kind of like a donut of energy that connects us
Uh-huh.
to the planet, and then allows the energy from above to connect to us. That this particular chakra, expanding out in silver,
Mm.
brings brings so much peace in that boundary of, that's them, this is me. And if you don't activate any of the other chakras, just having that one allows you to be more present in your body. Like I said, it took me 3 years, and oh, that's where I was going. That it that now I think it's much easier to accept and receive the energy about the 13 chakras than it was 3 years ago, uh, because we've continued to expand into 3D. I mean, that was just like the very beginning of 3 or 5D. So we're expanding more into the 5D, and that
Right.
was like right at the beginning when the planet had actually ascended into 5D. And so, and you know, I do have a gift too that we can talk about. So
Okay. Well, I'd love for you to share the gift.
absolutely. So I have created a raise your vibration spray, and people were asking me for a spray to repel narcissists, and I I couldn't do it from a um, I couldn't do it from that negative place of let's push somebody away. And so it took me a while to get to it. And then it dropped in actually as what's known as light language. For me, it's an ancient healing soul language. And it's laid over the top of some beautiful music. And it's a little over 5 minutes, but it's just the first 6 seconds to actually charge your water. So you create your own spray, have a spray bottle. You can use like some rose water, um, or an empty rose bottle, or any kind of spray bottle with water in it, and play the video or the audio, and it will charge your water. The lovely thing about this, when I created it, it was to release relationship residue, which it still does, to regain self love and reclaim your personal power so you can live with purpose, things that we all want. and it's now updated with aligning your 13 chakras. So every time there's every time I upgrade it, you get the upgrade because it's energetic. And so that's the gift that I have for everybody today. And it's located at gwenlepard.com and then /RYVS. So raise your vibration spray, gwenlepard.com.
Good.
Yeah, here, I'll put it in here.
Okay, do you want to put it in the chat? Yeah, so that way.
Raise your vibration spray, but it's just the initials.
Oh, and yes, and we've got.
Yes. Oh, do we have some questions?
We do, but we're going to, the questions we're going to save, and after I stop the recording, because that's just for us, because we're here together. And the other people get the replay, but they don't get the personal Q&A. And this is a big deal.
And this is the reason why you want to show up when you sign up. But if you can't, we get it. You get the replay.
Yeah, it's better to get something than nothing. And I totally agree. Yeah, so you mentioned the water code. That's so interesting.
Oh, well, yeah. I wish I had that sitting here.
That's okay. I wrote it down.
Yeah, I have her bookmark, Rainy Marie Highly. Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Cool.
And she's doing lots of other cool things now too.
I bet. Well, and then the best way to get a hold of you, did you put that in? Okay. This is your website? That's my website, and it's I'm so excited. I have a really wonderful VA that is redoing the website, but it's still, it's a good website the way it is right now. And is this / is that the gift? Yes, that's the gift. Okay, perfect. Yeah, and you can get a hold of me at Gwen@gwenlepard.com. That's my direct email. Great. And if anybody has any, needs anything or whatever, you can always contact me and I'll get a hold of Gwen. So we'll make it happen whichever way. Hopefully, you can save the chat when we complete. So I am so happy and grateful that we've had this time together. And I just want to say, I would love for you or anybody else, every month I pick, Gwen is my favorite, I love all of the people that I have on because they always bring something that's so perfect and amazing. And this is just another way for us to meet each other. This is my hall, my hall of records is all about understanding that there's so many different ways to heal. And there's no right way, wrong way. There's many, many ways. And that's what I'm doing by bringing on different people and hearing other people's experiences and also what they're doing or how they're doing it. Because something might resonate with one person and not with another. So I just want to share, we've got kind of a fun one, not kind of, it is really fun for next time, but it's a little bit different than I've done before. But I just want to, next month, it's August 25th, and Yvonne Bethay, she is the owner of Inspired Events and Adventures. And so she's saying, that her life purpose is to work with those who are ready to jump into their next level of frequency. And with the amazing events that she offers, and we have one coming up the last day of September and till October 2nd, we have a retreat, a spiritual mountain retreat up in the Gold Country in Arnold. So this is, and you should see this cabin. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. So So Yvonne is, hosting it with her cabin, and then I've got classes that I'm going to be doing, which will be really helpful, I'm sure. So with these amazing events, those who attend receive immersive life changes. So these are experiences for growth and transformation. So are you ready to live your life on purpose? Some of the events that we offer are at metaphysical expos. I met her at the psychic fair in Danville, and I was reading Akashic records. I met her and she invited me to come and do that. And so metaphysical expos, retreats, and personal and virtual meetups. So she does a lot of that too, a lot of healers. Please check out some of our events, and I do, well, I won't do that today because we're going to do that next month, but you will get the meetup information so that you can get connected with that if you feel like that speaks to you. So our events feature gifted and heart-centered practitioners who powerfully share their gifts. And I, for one, and this is Yvonne, she had an Akashic reading with me, and she's a Mintakan. And so I introduced her, to the Mintakans, and now, so now she's actually channeling messages from Mintaka. So that's what we're going to do in the retreat too. It's really exciting. So we also advise people on how to call on the Mintakans for help and healing in their own lives. And of course, Yvonne says what brings her great joy and purpose is helping spiritual seekers find their connection to manifest their dreams and live their best life. So come on next month. It is August 25th again at 6 p.m. Pacific. And I'm so happy to be with all of you. It warms my heart and soul. And until next month, we will meet again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you.